to the readers, it gives people a sense of Northampton, whether the scenes up in Leeds, whether driving up King Street. Folks who live here are going to really love the book. There are a couple of problems in the book, though. A couple of issues that I have to mention. First of all, there's no crime in Northampton. So, and I want to point out that any of the crime that is depicted took place during the Higgins administration, which was before I came here. Claire's here. And the other thing I would point out is, this notion that we'd have Boston police officers coming out here to help us solve crime. I mean, come on, we would have had this thing wrapped up before they even got off the Mass Pike. Oh, exactly. So
stealing my lines again.
Sorry. So anyway, I just want to encourage everyone to read the book, share it with your friends. I've already sent it to my friends around the country, and thank you on a great book. And it's great to have Northampton once again, Paradise City in the spotlight. So thank you, Archer.
Police Chief Senkowitz is also here, and we're really glad that he is. And we asked, as the mayor suggested, that we are doing this in honor of thanking the police. They were tremendously helpful to Archer in creating this, and we're delighted that they are here. They do such a good job. So Wendy Newton is behind Jonathan with a very large jar that we'd love to fill with donations tonight. So please do anything you can. Even nickels and dimes, a lot of them. Some people they put in a lot of money, so we appreciate that. So I want to introduce the police chief.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming. When Archer first visited me and was talking about concepts about a book, he wanted to bring a series of, 23 other crime novels down from Vermont, from the little sister town of Brattleboro to Northampton. We had a great time talking about concepts, how we could learn the city and whatnot, and he embraced all. Embraced my officers, my officers very well, and so it turned out really well in the book. But I will say, this book is fiction. Okay? Fiction. The mayor said it. Had we known about any of this early on, we would have never brought a Boston detective or the Vermont Bureau of Investigation to Northampton to solve it. We would have taken care of it. And Ruth, double tap, that's old style, all right? There's a whole other way of how we use lethal force. Nonetheless, a great book. I read it. I'm not a big reader of cop mysteries, don't watch cop shows, but I did read this and I was intrigued by it. It's a great writing style. And when I got to the end of the book, I was like, okay, that's good. And I met Archer today, and he said, I actually changed the end of the book from the version that you read, one of the earlier cuts. So now I have to bring the book home and see the last 3 pages. So I do thank you all for coming. I don't know how you worked in, and you'll see it in the book. Big Bird walking down Main Street in lights of recent political events, but it's in there. You must have a crystal ball. But a great book. I hope you all enjoy it. The fund that we're trying to raise money for is for our firing range to increase our officers' abilities and qualifications for firearms. We weren't able to afford that big $350,000 chunk of money in the original budget. That's what we cut out of it as part of the $2 million we cut out of it. And we're at a stage now that I'm hoping to match the money with the under budget, the leftover monies from the project, with some capital improvement money, and with any donations. There's been several city councilors, Alden Freeman Daniels, who was here, mentioned participating in some of that. So we hope to fill the gap in. If you feel the desire to help us out, we'd appreciate it, and I certainly encourage you to buy the book and enjoy the book. So thank you all for coming.
So now I introduce the most fascinating, articulate, imaginative, curious, funny, and never boring man that I know, Archer Mayor.
You know the Shakespearean line, "The lady doth protest too much." This is, in fact, the first utterly, completely accurate history book that I've ever read. Didn't make up a word. Having said that, I've been instructed that rather than working my own mouth here, I should just let this speak for me. So I'm going to put you all fast asleep by reading a single page where some of the subject matter that we discussed already has been touched upon. So this is where our intrepid hero, who would never be invited to Northampton, comes to Northampton nevertheless. As he pulled off the interstate, Joe was reminded of this through the sheer press of people crowding the sidewalks and passing before the hood of his car, while normal were amply represented, going about their business in coats and ties or casual Friday business attire. They were overwhelmingly outnumbered by the young, the unusual, and the downright strange. Big Bird could have strolled the street with nary a reaction, beyond a passing thumbs up and a supportive smile. There was an incubator quality about the place, suggesting that here especially people were allowed reasonably and sometimes humorously to push at the edges of convention. I'll leave it at that. I've been asked time and time again why I chose Northampton to place part of this book in, and I can only say with deep gratitude that given what I uncovered in the process, I should have done this many books ago, and maybe even placed Joe Gunther here under your administration. But
we take transfers, we have a couple openings.
Oh, there you go. Well, you know, rumor has it, now I would of course deny this, that he actually fought in the Korean War, so he'd be really pushing the boundaries. He's about 90 now, but he can sure take a whooping, so we may come knocking. Anyhow, welcome, enjoy yourselves, and thank you very much. Really appreciate it.